It's your boy Trent here, Void Zombie. Today is gonna be a very interesting story time. I got, oh my goodness, it's just so embarrassing. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna try and get into as quickly as possible because this is just too embarrassing. But, anyways, basically, it all started when I was starting freshman year. Okay. You don't want freshman year. You don't know what freshman year is. It's ninth grade. Ninth grade's, time to time, you experience whatever you want to do. I mean, like, I have plenty of other stories for you guys. But, anyways, this one particular day, I was, so there's usually 4 periods, right? There is, I don't know what my classes were. I can't even remember. But I had my 4 classes. I got done with 3, and then my 4th period was my advanced. Alright. Now, if you guys know what life management is, you'll get it when you're at high school, bud. But anyways, I'm basically in that class, and this particular girl, we'll just call her Jasmine. Okay. Jasmine is, Jasmine is very, let's just say she's like a bit of a bad influence, okay? Now, I'm not saying a bad influence, like, just in general. I'm saying this as a fact. She is kind of, like, weird, okay? It's really the only way I can explain it at this point. But she's very weird. She's short, she has that little aspect of trying to do things unintentionally. But carrying on with the story as I've wanted to. Oh my god. Anyways, basically, in this story, I'm in life management, and this chick, Jasmine, whatever you want to call her, decides to put her leg on mine for no reason. Okay. And at this time, I was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "Oh, well, I'm tired." Okay. She said something on the lines of basically making up an excuse to put her leg on mine. Alright. So, I'm sitting there, and I didn't mind it, because obviously, who cares? I mean, as long as she wasn't doing anything at that point, I was fine. I was doing what I needed to do. And I was sitting through life management. Now, at the end, I don't know what she was trying to accomplish at this point, but I think she may have slid her leg up just a little too far. Okay? Now, this is gonna get a little, above PG-13, so any young kids, don't do as I say, not as I do, because in this story, I was extremely stupid. Okay? So, I'm sitting there, and it got up to a specific point to where, had to cut it off, because obviously I was like, hey, that's not supposed to go there. So yeah. Anyways, as I'm trying to get her leg off mine at this point, I decide to readjust, if you want to say, not necessarily readjust, because it sounds very wrong. Anyways, okay. I'm basically sitting there, and it reaches a certain point to where I actually push her leg off, okay? Because it was just too much. I was like, yo, that ain't supposed to go there, right? So, the class ends, and she's, like, acting extremely weird, like, weirder than usual, if you want to say that. So, I'm trying to get done with the class. So, I basically am done, go home. The next day rolls along, And same thing kind of happens at this point. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, if you couldn't guess already, she decides to put her leg on mine again. So I'm sitting there, and I was like, alright, this is kind of annoying, but I'll let it happen because I don't care. Okay. So I'm sitting there, and then she does this like weird adjustment thing to where like every single time that she like moves, her leg like bobs up and down. And she does it on purpose. I know this for a fact because she's done it to like 8 other guys already. I'll tell you another story about that later. But I'm basically sitting there, minding my own business, and she does that. And lo and behold, what do you think she touches? And yeah, so things escalate, and I was like, whoa, got a little too high there. I thought she was kidding when she said this. But as soon as I said that, she said, oh, I know. I was like, okay, you're joking, right? And you're like, yeah, you're funny. But no, she wasn't joking. She was being dead serious. So I was like, oh, well, okay then. So, as a young teenage boy that I still am, I don't care. I didn't mind it. I didn't do anything to, you know, I didn't do anything to make it be like awkward or weird, but it got pretty awkward quick. I'm just gonna say that right now, it got awkward quick. So as a teenage boy, what you really do is you don't care what people do, especially when it comes to a girl. Okay. Now in this particular situation, I was kind of like weirded out, but not really at the same time, because you know, as a boy, your hormones start raging like crazy, and then like, you know, basically don't know what to do at that point. So I was just letting it happen, and she continued to bob her leg up and down like a maniac, nearly taking my wiener off in the process. So I'm sitting there, and again, like a teenage boy, I'd start to feel a little happiness, you know, raging through my body. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, you know, just clearly pitching a tent in class. If you guys, you know, I'm not even gonna explain that. You guys can figure that out for yourselves. I'm not even gonna attempt to tell you guys this. Anyways, let's pitch in a tent. It escalated extremely quickly to where I was just like, so it escalated to where I was sitting there and she kept doing it and doing it. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? You do you. Okay? I was laid back, have my hands crossed over my head, you know? I'm all living the dream. She's doing her thing. Right? Now, at the point, I didn't care because it was just her leg. Okay? Obviously, she was doing that to make, not necessarily make a point, but she was kind of being, if you want to say freaky nowadays. But, anyways, she does that, and this continues for like a week. Okay? Now, oh my god. Continuing on to where it was the point to where she would start taking her leg down, but yet she would start like poking my leg, like not like literally, like she would take her finger, her pointer finger, and poke me in the leg. So I was like, it's a little strange. And then on a particular day, if you can guess what happened then, she decided to poke in a spot to where I was very uncomfortable with, and I was like, whoa, that was not supposed to go there. Again. So she continued to do it, and like I said, as a kid, I didn't really care. So I was like, you know what? Do your thing. So, as I'm sitting through this, it got to a point to where it escalated, okay? Not just a little bit. I'm at extremely high. It escalated. To where I was at a point to where she was grabbing my penis, okay? And I was like, whoa. Alright. Now, in this point of my life, I was so embarrassed afterwards because, you know, now I'm just like, you know, I'm really a laid-back guy. You can ask me anything. You guys can do anything. I really don't care. You guys do you. But I ended up letting her do that for like a good, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks, I'd say. Now I'm sitting there and she literally looks at me, and you can't really like hear her because like obviously we're in class and she's not trying to like, you know, announce it to the entire class. But she basically whispered, now obviously you guys can't see my lips because I don't have a face cam, but she basically said, I want to go further. I was like, I don't know what you mean by that, but sure. So, what she decides to do is take her hand and stick it down my pants. Okay. Now I was like, wow, you took that up a huge notch. Okay. She knew what she was doing. Alright. She knew what she was trying to do to this thing. Alright. Basically, in the end, I was getting a handy in class, feeling like a god. Okay. And then all of a sudden the teacher comes up. Obviously, I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm laid back still, you know, have the old technique to where, okay, I have the old technique to where I'm just basically sitting there and, you know, my jacket's covering what nobody can see. So I was sitting there and I was like, alright, do your thing. So I'm all sitting there, she's giving the thing, and then the teacher comes up and walks over and says, I know what you guys are doing. You guys better stop that right now. And then she walks away. Now at that point, I'm crapping my pants, alright? I was literally so scared, I was like, she literally just caught us red-handed. Not literally me, but you. She caught you red-handed, giving me a handy in class. So I'm sitting there petrified because the teacher freaking just out of nowhere freaking came along and was just like, hey guys, know what you guys are doing. You better stop that right now. And that's it. Next day comes along. I'm doing my own thing again, still having, you know, having it to where I need to. Just basically sitting there. So, that was a great play. Anyways, so, I'm over there, basically petrified, concerned that I just witnessed what I seen. So, the next day, I get called up into the office. My VP's there, and the principal's there. I'm sitting there like, wonder what this can be about. Oh my god. That was easy. Anyways, I was standing there, and basically I was in the VP's office, and they were talking to me, and they're like, so something happened in, let's call her Miss Fatty, because she was, she had the biggest double chin of, you know, her entire life. So I was sitting there, and the VP called me. He was talking to me. He was like, so I heard this fatty decided to catch you and a little someone doing something very inappropriate. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. in the worst way possible, I just said, you know what? I don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, he could see straight through my lies, because he was like, okay, well, let's pull the girl who was also accused of doing that in here and see what she has to say. And I was like, oh, great. Now, in my mind, I'm just like, oh my god, dude. If she says anything, I'm actually gonna kill myself. So, I'm sitting there, and the VP brings her into the office, and she's already there. I'm just like, great. So he obviously sends me outside. He's trying to, he's trying to do his thing to where he tries to interrogate someone, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't really feel comfortable. Anyways, time passes by. I'm still sitting there. And then she comes out, bawling her eyes out. And I was just like, great. Just great. Come to find out, she snitched. Not necessarily, I shouldn't say snitched, but comes to find out, she told them exactly what happened in specific detail. They told me. So, at that point, they were like, well, you lied to me, but considering that you didn't do anything, you only get 3 days suspension, including, and for the day that I was actually there for like the entire class periods, they were just like, this day counts as one. So honestly, I only got a 2 day suspension. But the girl, on the other hand, she got like a couple weeks, probably. It was almost like an expulsion. I feel like she probably had like a good week of suspension. And I was like, well, I'm a bit irritated because now I feel very insecure because now everyone's gonna find out. And keep in mind, nobody can hide a secret at that school. Believe me when I say it. It'll find a way. A secret will find a way how to pop out of the ordinary. And basically in the story, guys, in this little lesson that I'm trying to tell you guys, don't get hand jobs in class. Okay? It's not good. If you're gonna do anything, do it outside of school. Alright. That's my little lesson today, guys. So if you guys did enjoy the story, please, I'd love for you guys to leave a comment, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, friends, and show them how idiotic I can be. So, till next time, guys, peace!